Okay, well then we're officially recording. Hi everyone. Again, apologies if you've just been listening to us chat. We didn't know how webinar worked, but now we do. I'm Sammy Thomason Fike. I'm your host. I'm the Square Books event coordinator. And with me are two of my favorite authors and all-around people, Ashley Poston and Kaitlyn Patterson. We're here to talk about Ashley's new book, Among the Beast and Briars. She's got it right there. Oh, and it's got a flower. It's got a daisy.
It has a daisy in it.
Very significant.
It's a very fake daisy because I kill real ones.
Same. It's fine. Also, if you were wondering, you can get signed copies of Among the Beast and Briars at your local indie, which is us, Square Books. I'm going to drop a link in the chat if I can figure out how to do that. Because, yeah, webinar seems a little wild to me. Anyway, also Kaitlyn wrote The Diminished, which you can actually see in the corner of Ashley's screen. Yeah, there we go.
That was very generous.
She wrote The Diminished and The Exalted, which we also have copies of at Square Books Junior. So holler at your girl.
Oh my gosh, and it still has your pre-order stuff in it.
Oh,
I still love them so much.
y'all, if you weren't here for Kaitlyn's event for The Diminished, it was a very good time.
It was fun.
We talked about cults for a long time. It's one of my favorite Square Books Junior events. Anyway, I'm gonna let Kaitlyn and Ashley chat. If y'all have questions, please go ahead and submit them in the Q&A, and we'll see how that works. Again, haven't done it. Very exciting.
We don't know how any of this works because we're not Zoomers. We're very much millennials.
Yeah. I just want to FaceTime.
I'm old.
Gross.
Ashley.
Yeah.
I want you to do something for me.
Depends on what it is.
That's not true and you know it.
Okay, I'll do anything for you.
I want you to pitch me Among the Beasts and Briars in 5 words or less.
I knew you were going to ask me this. Okay. Two idiots lost in woods.
Okay, tell me more about it. I know about it because I've read it like 3 times, but tell me people.
You read the incarnation that like never saw the light of day. You read like the one that was half finished, and then you recently read the final.
Yes.
Hasn't it improved tremendously?
It has. It's really interesting to see the evolution of your books, and I have a question about this later, but first of all, tell me more about this.
Okay, so it says Ceres is safe in the kingdom of Aloria. She basically has this weird magic in her blood where she can make flowers bloom, and she got it because like the woods cursed her, but it didn't keep her, which is very important. And she's a gardener's daughter, and she thought that she would live and die a gardener's daughter. And not only that, but she's been kind of ostracized by her town because of her curse, because they're really afraid of the wildwood, and they're afraid of it because it is cursed. So I wanted to write a book that's like that was reminiscent of fairy tales, without it being like directly inspired from just one. So I say it's like my Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it's really kind of not. It's more of a conglomeration of Beauty and the Beast and Sleeping Beauty and Snow White, which is like my trifecta of like princess fairy tales. And I wanted to write a book that had like everything that I loved in it, that had like a slow burn, that had like foxes and foxy transformations, and like a cinnamon roll of a love interest who just, man, he just wants to get his tail back. That's all he wants. That's all he wants in life. He wants his tail and he wants meat pies.
I mean, can relate.
Right? Like, who does not want some mulled wine and a meat pie? And I wanted to write a book that was just really that was dangerous, and that was a little bit like and that was thrilling, and that was a little bit frightening, but I wanted to write a book where throughout the entire thing you got the sense that in the end everything was going to be perfectly okay. Because like I think those are the books that I gravitate towards right now. They're the books that, like, for House Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones, I know from like the very first chapter that everything is going to be okay in the end. I know that no matter like what Hal throws at Sophie, or like what kind of hijinks or magic they get into, like, there is going to be a happily ever after. And I really wanted to be able to write that in Among the Beasts and Briars, and I really hope that I did that. So yeah, I wrote Among the Beasts and Briars right after the 2016 election, when I needed to get out of my own head. And so I dove into the world of Eloria, and I found Karis and Fox, and they led me into the woods.
I think it's so interesting that you say that, because I had like exactly the opposite reaction to the 2016 election. I wrote this like really messed up dystopia that no one is ever going to read again.
You are, oh, well, okay, so yeah.
But that does sort of bring me to something that I wanted to talk to you about, because rereading it this week, I did get that sense of like everything is going to be okay, which right now I need so desperately. I think the time for saying like this is not going to get political has passed. Everything is. My life is political. Your life is political.
Oh yeah, I have Lindsey Graham's number on speed dial. That's how political I am right now.
No, my favorites are like Marsha Blackburn, Lamar Alexander.
Yup.
It's the world we're living in, and we're under this like constant stress, and the news is grim. No matter what you believe, it's grim right now. And reading Among the Beasts and Briars this week, it was just such a wonderful escape, and I'm so grateful for that. And I've given so much thought to happy endings, and I gave a lot of thought to happy endings in my duology, because in that world, like, I don't know, it's a neutral ending, I would say. I don't know that it's like a happy ending, because I didn't think that was right for the characters. But
I think it was a hopeful ending, though.
It was a hopeful ending, and I think that that's important in YA. I think that YA is so much about hope, and so much about the potential good that can come. But reading your happy endings is delightful, and I want you to talk about why they're important and what they give us, not just like in this time, but in any time.
I mean, I think it's the same reason a lot of people gravitate towards romances, because in the romance genre, you have happily forever or happy for now, but they're still happy endings. And if you like kill them at the end, it's not really a romance. Well, it's not part of the romance genre. It's more of a love story, and that goes in fiction. It doesn't really go in romance. Personally. and so I think it's really important that we have stories that like might have completely bonkers endings that are so happy and just everything ties up so neatly, because fiction isn't always supposed to be a reflection of our present. It's not always supposed to be a reflection of reality. It's fantasy for a reason. And I think reading about happy endings and like neatly tied happy endings where everything works out well for everyone in the end, and like death isn't the final goodbye, and all of these like things that I think they help you keep hold of hope. I think like unabashedly happy endings like help you imagine a more hopeful world that we could be living in. And I think that's always what we're going to need. We're going to need some sort of story that gives us that like glimmer of this is too sweet and too saccharine for it to be real, but maybe we could get somewhere close to it. I mean, it's like the saying, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be like, living among the stars, right? Like it's the same thing. I think we need hope, and I think we need happy endings, because I think that if we can more reflect like happy endings in our real life, then we become more empathetic towards other people, and we learn like to like have empathy for other people, because like that's basically what romance is like this connection between people. So yeah, that's why I think happily ever afters are important.
So I'm gonna say something and you're gonna get mad at me. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
I've never read Howl's Moving Castle, despite you having mentioned it in every single event we've ever done together.
No! What?
So when we get off this call, I'm gonna order a copy from Sammy.
No, I'm sending you a copy. No.
Let me pay for my sins, but I want you to recommend a couple of other happy ever after endings.
It's okay, Fox. She didn't mean it. It's okay.
I don't know.
It's fine. Like sometimes you look at House of Castle and you're like, oh, that's an anime. I don't really like anime, so I probably won't like this book. But the book is so much different.
I think that it was that I went straight from Alana at the Lioness series to Margaret Atwood, which I think explains everything about me.
Actually, yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Even
so
Sammy's nodding.
I checked out Alana and then I went to the adult section and I was like, Margaret Atwood, I'll start with the A's, and I read everything.
I mean, to be completely fair, a lot of people haven't read Diana Wynne Jones simply because a lot of bookstores don't know where to shelf her. Because like while her writing might like tend towards middle grade, most of her books are not middle grade. House of Castle, I would argue, is an adult novel because it deals with adult topics. It deals with fitting in with like your family, and it deals with finding your family. Which to be fair is like a middle grade trope, but the way it's handled in House of Castle, it's a lot more mature because it isn't about Sophie finding her family. It's about Sophie being the eldest of 3 daughters, stepping out and trying to seek her fortune and trying to like navigate a world that is suddenly strange to her. And I think that transition from like teenhood to adulthood is captured very well in House of Castle. And also Hal gets drunk a lot. And he's just a complete twit and absolutely not middle grade. But a lot of Diana Wynne Jones people don't know where to shelf her because like she didn't write for an age group. She wrote a story and she wrote about the tropes that she loved.
So knowing what you know about me now, along with Howl's Moving Castle, what else do you recommend? What else should people like me who don't read a lot of happily ever afters, why is that hard?
I was stumbling over that too. I was like, is it HEA or happily ever after? Which one should I do? HEA? HEA?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Okay, so I 100% recommend The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune.
So good. So good.
It's just a warm hug. That's literally all it is. And it has and if you like House in the Cerulean Sea, you will like House of Castle because they encompass like the same brain space and the same heart space, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ones. If you my hair just hit it's fine. I really like the graphic novels for the Adventure Zone. I think they're also unabashedly happy.
Yeah.
I mean, and they like tackle some tough topics, but like it's gonna be fine in the end. You're just on a ride, and it's a really fun ride. And it's really, really goofy. It's a lot of slapstick humor, but it's also like a lot of tongue-in-cheek Dungeons and Dragons puns, which is really nice.
I loved that. I loved that series and their podcast, and I'm just such a fan of them. They're so delightful.
They really are. The McElroys are good boys.
Also popping on to say I love the McElroys, and because of me, we do stock the Adventure Zone graphic novels at Square Books. Okay, bye.
Yes, I love it.
Buy them. But yeah, I love those graphic novels so much. I will reread them just for Taco. Speaking of Taco, Taco is the reason Fox is the way he is in Among the Beasts and Briars.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, like I have a character mood board on my Scrivener, and the one quote that I have to sum up Fox is like, "Taco's good out here."
Yes.
That's it. That's Fox.
Perfect.
Let's see here. Do you want more Rex or?
I have one.
Yes.
It's also a graphic novel, which is surprising for me because I don't read a lot of them. The Prince and the Dressmaker.
Oh, that's so good.
So good.
It's
So good.
soft.
Such a good heart space.
Also, there's a Broadway coming for it. Well, it's supposed to be coming for it.
I didn't know that.
Yep. It was announced a few years ago, I think, but don't know what's going to happen with it now with the pandemic and the Great White Way being closed and everything's fine. Everything's fine. Speaking of Everything's Fine, this is not a book, but it is a musical. The Beetlejuice Broadway is really good and it's really happy and it like takes that heart space too because like it's nothing like the movie whatsoever.
I want you to talk about your love of Broadway because it's something that I didn't discover about you until we were in New York together for BookCon. And
to go see a show every night, basically.
Yes, I love it. And I think it's so charming, but I want to know where that came from.
Well, it came from it came from high school. It definitely came from high school when I had to take, so I was in marching band and I was in band class. I played clarinet. It was fun, but I needed another like art class to fill my like C schedule. So it was basically like math, science. It was then I took a video production, which was basically not another news show, which was probably another thing you don't know about me is that I was the video production editor for my news show for like 3 years. And that's why I have a minor in journalism. So that's how I like know all of like the video stuff is because I was the producer of the news show for a few years. And then there was lunch and then I had to find something to fill that second slot, right, between to make up like the full block. So I had to choose between like show choir, which I can't sing, and basically what was like a tech theater thing. And I was like, well, I guess I'll try tech theater. And I ended up falling in love with it to the point where I dropped like some of my other art classes and I took honors pro instead. And so I was honors pro at my high school was we put on a show in the spring for elementary school kids. They would be bussed in from all over the district, and we would put on a 45-minute show every single day. And it was a lot of fun. And me and my friend, we were the tech people for it. Well, we were 2 of the 4 tech people for it. So she did lights, I did some sound. I did a lot of like like props and costume changes and stuff. But yeah, I fell in love with theater through that. And then I ended up writing a play that won state my senior year, and that was what I was going to go to school for. But then like the great crash, happened. So I went to my local college instead. But yeah, I was going to be a playwright.
Do you think that you'll ever pick that back up?
I don't know. I really like writing books because I wrote fanfic my entire life, right? So it was just like the natural progression, it seemed like. I don't know. I think I would be more inclined to write a graphic novel because I used to also work in the comic industry. Fun story. So yeah, I think I'm more inclined to write a graphic novel than go back to plays.
Do you think that Broadway or your love of musicals or plays has influenced the way that you write?
Absolutely. I really love the way Broadway plays are structured, and I like how there's like a rest in the middle, and that's usually how I like instinctively structure my books, which is real weird. Like in Among the Beasts and Briars, there is like a definite end right after they get to a certain place, and then it picks up again. And like that happens with all of my books. So
that's really interesting.
Also, I like the kind of like comical hijinkses that Broadway has. Like Beetlejuice's hijinks is so good. Oh man, I love it so much. So
Okay, so talk to me about food. How does food play a role in Among the Beasts and Briars?
well, I know someone who's a really good chef.
Who's that?
I mean, I think I might be talking to her right now. No, it's true though. I wanted to include food because I heard you talk about food as like basically a building block of world building, and that was what we talked about during your launch of the Diminished, and I like that talk stuck with me because like I before that I hadn't really thought much about food as like a building block in world building. I just thought food was like, you know, spices on top or whatever, a little bit of salt and then you're good. Um, but
We salt as we cook, Ashley.
we do?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Start to finish.
oh, okay. Well, I still have a lot to learn, Kaitlyn. But yeah, so I wanted to try my hand at building like food into a part of the world, and I built it into the secret city of Wynne because like I didn't know like what kind of place it was, but then when I found out what kind of food they ate, the rest of it just came together so easily because I was like, oh, I know what they eat, so I know what they rely on.
Mhm.
And it was so much easier. So yeah, the food bits in Among the Beasts and Briars is literally an homage to you.
Oh, well, I'm flattered because it was one of my favorite things about my reread. I thought it was so fun. And I thought you did just a really wonderful job.
Thank you. I just really I really wanted to write some like food passages that would be like, what would make Kaitlyn hungry?
Well, you succeeded.
Yay.
I think what I need to do is make some of the stuff that you talked about. What should I make from the book?
Ooh. Oh, that's a hard one. Mm. I would really like one of those meat skewers, honestly.
I'm on it. I am all over it. It's
Like,
gonna be
gosh.
my dedication Instagram post is gonna be food from Among the Beasts and Briars.
Or like, I don't know, just like I would like you to just like cook some really great dessert that you think Fox would like, and then me and you like share mulled wine over a campfire.
Can we do that like now?
I know, right? Darn
So
pandemic.
yeah, I think it's so interesting, and it's been. Let me give some context. The 2 weeks before we went into lockdown, Ashley and I were at on the Gulf Coast with Madcap Retreats,
Mhm.
and she's one of the last people that I'm not related to that I hugged.
Hug, yeah.
It was such that time with other authors like Natalie C. Parker and Tessa Gratton and Justina and Marco Shiro and
Katie
Katie
Locke.
Locke and Victoria Lee. Like there's so many people there that I just love so deeply.
Adib and Dot and oh everyone.
Everyone. And it was
Julian.
such a boon to have that time. It was really special. And it was really fun because it was the first Madcap where I cooked for everybody. And I got flour all over the kitchen making pizza. It was
You
fun.
did, but like the food was so good.
It was really fun.
I still dream about the pasta you made.
Everybody was into that pasta. That pasta is entirely Adib. He suggested it. I just executed it.
Seriously?
Yeah, he was like,
Oh.
"We need to make pasta limon." I was like, "Okay, sure, great."
Well, I mean, leave it to Adib though. He like had all the best ideas during that Madcap. Let's do frosé.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So one of the ideas that I had when I was thinking about how to like promote books and do social media back when I thought that that was a thing I would ever have time for um, was uh, making food from books and posting that on Instagram, which I still do from time to time, but not very often. So I wanted to talk to you about what food reminds you of your favorite books, or what you like to eat while you're writing, what you like to like the sensuality of writing and food and how that interplays in the books that you love?
So it really depends on like what kind of scene I'm writing with like what kind of like snacks I like to eat. If I'm like struggling with a book, I will honestly just like put like peanut M&Ms down, and every single 500 words I will eat another one.
Mhm.
And suck on it for a while until like it's melted, and then I'll eat it and then start the next. Anyway, it's an entire process. But like when I want to sit down and enjoy a scene, I actually fix myself a cheese plate.
I love that.
I'm like, I'm gonna be fancy for 2 seconds. Let me bring out the weird like, laughing cow cheese and cut it up and like make it look nice, even though it's like super cheap. It's fine. We can do this. Some stale saltines on the side.
So one of the things that I miss the most about going to the grocery store is the $2 cheese scraps box in the Murray's cheese stands at Kroger. And because I'm doing all of my food like pickup or delivery, I don't get to go like browse through the weird tiny cheese bits.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the tiny cheese bits.
I know, right? There are so many things I miss. I miss going to like the local butcher and just like going through like their selections for like the week and just like salivating a little bit.
Yeah. So tell me about how we met.
Well, a long time ago when the pyramids were still young.
We're not that old, Ash.
It feels like we are, Kaitlyn.
Yes. I've aged 20 years in the last 2 months.
Oh, yeah. 20? Are you sure it's just 20? I feel like I'm old Greg by now, who like should at least drink Bailey's from a shoe.
That is a deep cut.
You're dead.
No one will understand that.
Guys, if you haven't, just Google old Greg.
Or
No,
don't.
like,
Or if you're a teen, look at my face right now. If you're a teen, you're not ready. If you're over the age of 17, wait until 2 a.m. and then Google old Greg. You're welcome.
It's from The Mighty Boosh, which was a TV show way back when. That was our teenage years though. So I mean, so if like the teens like right now watching, I mean, we were their age when we were
introduced. I was like 17 or 18 when I first encountered the Mighty Boosh.
Oh no, I was like 14.
I also like didn't do internet.
I was in marching band.
It's true. You were more on the internet than I was.
Yeah. We had trombone players salmoning each other, so like it's fine. Everything's fine. I love my high school memories. But
why are you muted? It's
You
better
should
now.
be unmuted now. I
That
don't
was-
know what happened. It was weird.
The internet was trolling us.
did someone mute me because I talked about old Greg?
Did old Greg mute you?
I'm not sorry.
I'm really glad I can't edit this because I need everyone to get the full old Greg experience for this event.
Oh no, now some really angry like middle school mother will come and like be like,
Hey,
why did you?
I told him.
Look, I'm making old Greg enthusiast part of my Twitter bio.
Yes.
Oh gosh. So we met at a Sirens 4 years ago.
It was before the bad.
It was right before the bad. We met at a Sirens, which I think they just had a virtual Sirens.
It was great.
Yeah.
And we were in a room with E.K. Johnston and Katie Locke. And we were the only two who hadn't met before.
Yep. And I was so intimidated because I had loved Geekerella, and all of my friends at home were like, I can't believe you're sharing a room with Ashley Poston.
I was very intimidated because you were a new person and you're very pretty.
Thanks. I just put my hair in like a really awkward way before that. I got like I I sold my book and was like, I'm going to take author photos with long hair. Now I'm going to chop off all of my hair and dye it pink.
It looked really good though, very alternative.
I liked it.
Yeah,
The pink has stuck around, if nothing else.
clearly.
Yeah, so after that we got on a group chat as you do.
As you do, and you became one of my best friends.
Mm-hmm. We talk every day.
We do.
Nonstop. And I've read many versions of many of your books.
Because I write like a... Yep.
So you know what I'm going to ask. Tell the people. Tell the people what happens when Ash writes a book.
This wasn't part of the questions we agreed to.
And you said troll me.
Okay. So when Ashley Poston writes a book, Ashley Poston used to just pants. This has changed during the pandemic because I have found my Lord and Savior synopsis. Synopsi? Synopsi. Is it synopsi?
I don't know. I didn't take Latin. Synopses?
Synopsises? Whatever. I get paid for this. So before this year, I would pants a novel and I would write it in like 2 weeks. Like, okay, let's do Among the Beasts and Briars, for example, because this is a really good example.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this in 2 weeks. It was very bad. I let people read the second one.
It wasn't very bad.
It was mostly bad.
It needed work.
Yes, it did need a little bit of work. And then I rewrote it 9 times.
And when she says rewrite, she rewrote it, she means she deleted it and started over.
Oh yeah. I copied and pasted the bits that I liked into a Word doc, and then I started over again. And then when I got to like those like tentpole markers, I would copy it, I would paste it back into my document, and then I would rewrite the thing and then delete the thing that I pasted. So that's how I was. Let's see here. And then like this came out. Well, no, and then I sent the 9th draft to, I think it was Nicole Brinkley, and she was like, Ashley, this is half a book. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's 70,000 words. It's an entire novel. What are you talking about? She was like, no, this is literally half a book. This was at like 3 in the morning, so I had a minor breakdown, very minor breakdown.
Only a couple of texts that I woke up to at like 7:30.
Couple? I think it might have been like 30.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, is it only half a book? Is it? Oh my god, it's half a book. It's half a book. I turned in half a book. It was bad. It was very bad. And yeah, so I had to write the rest of the book, which was not fun. And then I turned it into Jordan, and then we edited it, and now it's what it is now.
A very good book with an absurdly beautiful cover.
I know. Look at this. It's
Can
so
we talk
pretty.
about it for a second? Like,
it has
when you first sent that to me, I was like, I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it.
I am also mad about it. I mean, I will never have a book prettier than this one. Like, I have reached my peak, and this is it.
It's, well, that's not true. Valhalla, stop. Sorry. Do you want to see them?
Yes, we want to see Lala.
Please show us the animal.
Just my Valhalla dog. He has an Instagram bed. Lala.
Oh my goodness. Lala is so nice.
He gets really whiny when I talk to somebody who's not him. I apologize.
That's great.
Y'all, let's do a quick Q&A. I think if I click answer live on this question, it'll pop up.
Will it?
I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I'm trying it. No, it went away. Where did it go?
Uh-oh. Did you read it?
Okay. No, I have it.
Okay.
Okay, this question is from Madeline. Hi, Madeline. I love that you started by writing fanfic. Do you think that writing fan fiction helped you to figure out your writing style / process?
Absolutely. The reason I can write so fast is because I wrote fanfic, and I figured out what my strengths were and what my weaknesses were. And so I just avoid my weaknesses now.
Is the popular Twitter rumor that you're writing a Julie and the Phantoms fanfic true?
I won't give you my AO3. You're gonna have to find it yourself.
That's what I wanted.
You're gonna have to find it yourself. Yes, I am writing a fanfic. Yes, it is posted on AO3. Will you find it? Who knows?
Will I be looking? Absolutely.
Okay, hang on. Before we go to more real human questions and not me questions, should I watch that show?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I mean, Kaitlyn, do you want just like warm fuzzies? Do you want like a middle finger to toxic masculinity? Do you want catchy songs, a diverse cast, and like, do you miss High School Musical without it being High School Musical?
Never watched that, but yes to all of the others.
You have to. It is just a shot of like serotonin straight to your brain. It is so happy and unabashedly like fun, and like the bromance between like the dudes in the band is just so healthy, and it's so good.
That would probably be a good antidote to the really dark historical stuff that I've been watching.
Yes. I mean, listen, so the guys in the band die by eating a street dog. That's all you need to know. Like, it's
okay, I'm here.
It's that level of fun.
Back to business as usual. I know what I'll be doing tonight.
Yes. We can watch it together if you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting a rewatch anyway.
Out.
I've watched this show 4 times already. Okay,
I'm so impressed. I'm still watching it I'm like halfway through the first episode. I'm doing it in like bits and pieces. I'm excited.
No, you have to watch the entire first episode, because then you'll be crying at the end and you'll be like, I hate this, but I love it. It is so good.
Okay, I'll start it over. Yes. I'll give this the attention it deserves. We've got another question. Oh, it's from Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Ash, which fandom most influences your writing?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I don't think any fandoms influence my. Okay, that's wrong. So
lie to the people.
I can't lie to the people. I don't think it's really the fandom that influences my writing, but it's the tropes I find in fandoms. Like, I really love song fics, so like I like fun and happy like Julie and the Phantoms fics, and so if I like a trope that's like, I don't know, getting caught in the rain or a coffee shop AU, I will take like a nugget of a fanfic trope and I will run with it. Like Draco and Leather Pants was the reason I wrote Vance in Bookish and the Beast. Like, I love that trope. Draco and Leather Pants is the best broody trope you can ever find. I hate how it links to Harry Potter, but it's part of history. But yeah, I freaking love fanfic tropes. I will write all the fanfic tropes. And Among the Beasts and Briars, like by itself, was influenced by an episode of an anime, actually. It was influenced by episode 13 of Inuyasha, because, hi, I'm a weeb. And episode 13 is one of the best like standalone episodes of Inuyasha, I think. It's the new moon and the black-haired Inuyasha, and it's fun. And I like the soft moments in it, and I was like, I want to do that, but I want to make it something else. So basically what I did. Thanks, Inuyasha.
Kaitlyn, I have time for one more question if you have another one you want to ask.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I do have a question. It is silly.
Do it.
How many foxes do you follow on Instagram?
That's an unfair question.
It is not.
That is such a... I think you should have asked how many possums I follow on Instagram.
Well, now you need to tell me both. What?
Listen, I love possums. They're little fingies. They're so...
I love them too. I think that this is something that we've bonded about.
We have.
Sure.
it's just they're so good. I think I follow like 4 or 5 possums. I only follow 2 fox accounts, and one of them is Juniper Fox, obviously.
Which I think is required. Like, doesn't that just come standard with Instagram?
Absolutely. It's like the first one you can like, follow and gotta do it. Gotta have.
Okay, stop. I don't know what it is. Now I feel like what is it? Juniper Fox?
Juniper Fox. It's this.
Okay, everyone, look at me. Look it up right
now. And she just shares her in the house living foxes and other critters.
Wow, that showed up very fast.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. There's a fox with sunflowers. Okay.
She has, I think, 3 foxes, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Baby, that's Juniper.
Okay, everyone, it's Juniper Fox with 2 X's. Get on this.
Yeah, it will bring light and happiness to your life.
It will.
When I eat dinner, I'm gonna look through the Fox Instagram.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Ashley posted on TikTok.
Yes.
Are we gonna get some TikTok dances?
Yes. Why not? I'll figure out a dance and I'll do it.
Yes.
Thank you. Give the people what they want.
It's the content.
Do they really want to watch me dance? Now,
yes.
I did take dance for 10 years. That was something that I did do.
Yeah.
And I took clogging for like 5 years. So I know how to dance.
And you're good at taking video and pictures of yourself. I have complete faith in you.
At least that's one of us. I'm glad it's one of us. It's not me, it's you. That's what friends are for.
Absolutely.
Y'all, this has been so much fun. It only could have been more fun if we were reunited in person, but alas, another time.
I can't wait to hug both
We have
of
to
you.
look forward to the future.
Yes, big hugs in our future. Ashley and Kaitlyn may not know this, but they were actually my first stock signing that I was in charge of ever. So y'all's books were the first books that I ordered by myself and that I set up the signing for. And yeah, so it's so good to have y'all like here with me virtually. It's really sweet. Y'all started off my book selling career. It's very nice.
And
That's gonna make me cry.
Oh. No crying, only happy. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much. This was so wonderful. Thank you to everyone for watching and bearing with me as I discover how to use Zoom webinar. Next time's gonna be better, guys. I'll know. And you won't be stuck listening to us talk about whatever we were talking about before the podcast started.
It's fun. It was probably things that we would have talked about anyway.
That's true. Anyway, you can get signed copies of Among the Beast of Briars at Square Books Junior. I dropped the link online and you're going to get another link in your email tomorrow. This video is going to be posted up on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you missed any of it, or if you want to send it to all of your friends, which is what I'm going to do, you should definitely check it out. Anyway, thank y'all so much. Ashley, Kaitlyn, thank you. This was my dream. I'm so glad we got to do it.
Thank you too.
It's good to see your faces.
Yes.
Everyone stay safe and stay well, please.
Yeah.
And vote.
And
Yay!
Vote.
Okay, bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye.